So there are large populations of wildebeest across a fair bit of Africa, but the particularly famous one is the Serengeti group, and that's in Tanzania and Kenya, and they're quite nomadic. And they will make a huge migration each year around May or June. They go about 500 to 1,000 miles. And by the end of the dry season, they've pretty much exhausted the grazing lands, and then they'll return south to the Serengeti plains as the rains start, and then there's fresh grass available for them. So a lot of wildlife documentaries actually have documented the migration of the wildebeest. It's a very famous thing, and a lot of people will come from far and wide to witness it. It's a spectacular thing to see. And you see vast numbers of wildebeest crossing the river. So they will have to, in the course of their migration, they have to cross the river. The Mara River is one of the more well-known sites where they cross. And they will die in large numbers doing this. Many of them will drown. And there are also often crocodiles lying in wait for them, and a large number of them will get eaten. And it's just something that seems to have been built into the way that they've evolved. It's just standard practice and they will cross in huge numbers. So they've developed a strategy. It's sort of referred to as a swarm intelligence. The thought is that the wildebeest, rather than crossing in dribs and drabs in small numbers where just a few of them would go across, they'll tend to cross en masse when they have to cross a river. And yes, a great number of them will be eaten by crocodiles, but because they're crossing as a big group, then the crocs can only get a certain number of them, and the rest of them will be able to make it to the other side. And you will see if individuals kind of break away from the group and they're crossing sort of in more isolated numbers, it's quite common then that those animals in particular are likely to be picked off by crocodiles.
Wow, there you go, Dan. He's getting down.
And so, yeah, the strategy that they've evolved to move as a group does seem to work, but it does mean that there is a lot of mortality.
I know you really like animals, obviously. What do you think when you're watching animals getting picked off like this and eaten and munched, and like, do you feel sad, or you think, oh, this is great?
Oh. Well, I don't think it's great. I mean, naturally, feeling the way I do about animals, I do sort of think it's sad, but I also accept that it's part of nature. And as much as we might be sad at seeing any living thing die, it's the way the world works, and I think we just have to accept that.
Got away.